Technical Working Group. Shall I begin with the regular members? We'll start with Attorney Roberto Martin Bonaventura, Brigadier General Ernesto R. Milo, Engineer Gary M. Hadi, Engineer Arnold Bernardo, Miss Jocelyn Ching. Thank you po, Sir Gary. Engineer Arnold Bernardo. Miss, thank you, Sir. Miss Jocelyn Ching. From the Technical Working Group, we have Attorney Iris Presyon.
Present.
Attorney Mary Jane Espirito.
Present.
Engineer Florian Atienza.
Present.
Thank you po. Engineer Norik Baez.
Present po.
Mr. Jose Marie Anthony Eligio.
Present.
Mr. Alfred Destura.
Present.
Engineer John Christian Kala.
Present, ma'am.
Thank you po. Miss Tricia Santa Barbara.
Present po.
Thank you, ma'am. Miss Jamaica Gregorio. From the Secretariat, we have the overall head, Engineer Leandro Barquez, sir.
Present.
Thank you po. Engineer Sammy Billabert.
Present online. Afternoon.
Miss Melina Reyes. Thank you, sir. Miss Melina Reyes. Mr. Thomas Thomas Duque Santos. Miss Eloisa Casillero.
Present, ma'am.
Miss Charisma Aquino. Thank you po. Miss Charisma Aquino. Miss Sofia Paula Pulmaran. Miss Sandra Sardan. Mr. Nathaniel Citer de Cilia. Miss Nina Cristel Romasanta.
Present po.
Miss Sahara Teresa Buwit. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Sahara Teresa Buwit. Miss Miss Jamel Camille Aniscol. Miss Roxanne Habilonar.
Present po.
Miss Holly Pasano. Noted, ma'am. Thank you. Miss Holly Pasano. Mr. John S. Rapenya Ohas. Miss Gina Adobe. Miss Ana S. Torrefranca. Miss Rita Linda Pileo. Miss Ana Damika Ibay.
Present, ma'am.
Mr. Francis Paul Alcantara. Noted po. Thank you. Mr. Paul Alcantara. Mr. Romar Palidino. And Mr. John Marcodera. Okay po. With the regular members po are present. To the chair, we have a quorum.
Kaya na ba?
Yes po. With the hello po. With the yes po.
Okay na kayo, ma'am. Sige, let's just proceed with the items in the agenda, please. We have here the first one being the presentation, with evaluation for the project Modernization 2-unit passenger elevator at CAAP building. Sino mag-present na?
Sir, this will be presented by the TWG, Engineer Christian Kala, sir.
Please proceed.
Christian. Engineer Christian, you may proceed now, sir. Sir, instead of Engineer Christian, I will present for the TWG, sir. I will just share my screen. Secretariat, may I confirm if you could see my screen?
Clear, attorney.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Technical Working Group of BAC Bravo, I will present the bid evaluation report for the project modernization of 2 units passenger elevator at CAAP Admin Building. So the approved budget for the contract is 2,652,648 pesos. And the mode of procurement is for direct contracting. We sent our request for proposal or request for quotation with a Hyundai elevator, and this was published on March 16, and the opening of bids was conducted last March 23, 2022 at 2 p.m. at the CAAP conference room. So as a background, the Facilities and Maintenance Division Buildings and Grounds Maintenance Section recommended for the modernization of the 2 units passenger elevator at the CAAP Admin Building due to the obsolete parts of the elevator that resulted to its frequent breakdowns. So a notice of direct contracting and request for proposal was sent to Ms. Anika Yu, Management Associate of Hyundai Elevator Services Philippines Incorporated, for the above-mentioned project. So Hyundai Elevator Services Philippines submitted its bid proposal within the deadline, and the bid proposal was opened and checked in the presence of the bidder's representative. During the opening of bids, the bid proposal was initially rated as passed, and also they offered a discount of 5%, which is or 132,000. So their submitted bid proposal is 2,652,648 pesos, and their discount is 5%. So the calculated bid proposal of Hyundai Elevator Services Philippines is now 2,520,015 pesos and 6 centavos. So for the findings, it was found that they submitted a complete bid. They are the single calculated bid, and it is within the ABC. The bid proposal of the bidder was ascertained complete for complying with the technical specification for offering all the bids required. And as mentioned earlier, the bid proposal of Hyundai Elevator Services Philippines is considered as the single. This is calculated bid in the amount of 2,520,015 pesos and 6 centavos. For the recommendation, with reference to the above findings, the BAC TWG hereby recommends that the bid proposal of Hyundai Elevator Services Philippines Incorporated to undergo a post-qualification process for being evaluated and considered as the single calculated bid in the amount of 2,520,015 pesos and 60 centavos for the project modernization of 2 units passenger elevator at CAAP Admin Building for the consideration of the committee.
Thank you, Tony Irish. So we have your recommendation for the conduct of post-qualification for the benefit of the elevator services. Do you have any comments from the members? If there's none, let's have a motion, please.
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I motion to adopt the recommendation of the TWG for the bid proposal of Hyundai Elevator Services Philippines Incorporated to undergo the post-qualification process for being evaluated and considered at a single calculated bid in the amount of 2,520,015 15 pesos and 60 centavos for the project modernization of 2 units passenger elevator at CAAP admin building. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Do you have a second?
Seconded, Mr.
Members?
Chair.
Thank you, sir. The motion duly seconded, the recommendation is adopted, and the motion is carried for the conduct of post-qualification evaluation for Hyundai Elevator Service Philippines. All right, let's proceed.
Sir, for the next agenda.
Sige, go ahead, Irish.
Sir, for the next agenda, sir, it is the presentation of post-qualification report for the project lease of aircraft for CAAP-FICG flight operations mission nationwide in the amount of 127,050,000 pesos. This is an FICG project for public bidding. This will be presented by Attorney Dane Espiritu of the TWG.
Good afternoon, members. Can you see my screen na po?
Yes, ma'am. Kita na po.
Thank you. So for the post-qualification report for the project list of aircraft for CAAP-FICG flight operations mission nationwide, the approved budget for the contract is 127,050,000 with bid number 22-004-02 Bravo. The date and place of opening of bids was on March 14, 2022 at the CAAP conference room. The name of the single rate responsive bid rated bid is Asian Aerospace Corporation. With their based on the bid evaluation, their bid price is 127,050,000 pesos. So as for the findings of the TWG, for the eligibility documents, they submitted their certificate of PhilJEPS registration issued on 22 December 2021, valid until 2023, responsive. For the SEC document, they submit it's also responsive. For the business and mayor's permit, they submitted their certificate of registration and tax exemption, responsive. For the tax clearance per EO number 398 series of 2005, they submitted the tax clearance issued last 23 June 2021 and valid until 23 June 2023, responsive. As for the technical documents, it was also found to be responsive. The AOC they submitted was 2012-050. Date of issuance is 19 October 2020. Expiration date on 18 October 2025. For the schedule of requirements, responsive. They issued a statement of compliance with the schedule of requirements. Conformity with the technical specifications was also found to be responsive. The bidder's computation for its NFCC, responsive. The amount is 3,530,733,624.65, more than the ABC. They submitted a bid security which is duly notarized, responsive, and they also submitted their omnibus sworn statement, responsive. For the financial documents, it was also found to be responsive. They offered the total bid of 127,050,000. It is the same with the calculated bid as reflected in the bid evaluation report. The latest income and business tax is also submitted, responsive. Other licenses were also submitted, responsive. And for the latest audited financial statement, responsive. The latest audited financial statement is for fiscal year 2019 to 2020. For key personnel, responsive. For the business tax period of 2020 and income tax period of 31 January 2020, responsive. Pickup license registration, SEC registration, mayor's permit, tax clearance, field registration, responsive. So for the recommendation of DTWG, the bid proposal of Asian Aerospace Corporation was evaluated and considered as the single calculated and responsive. In this regard, the TWG recommends the awarding of the contract in the amount of 127,050,000 pesos to Asian Aerospace for having complied with all the legal, technical, and financial requirements.
Ay, sorry na putol ako for the last part. Can we just go back to the recommendation, please?
The recommendation of DTWG is to award the contract in the amount of 127,050,000 pesos to Asian Aerospace.
Alright, thank you, Attorney Day. So we have here the presentation of the post-qualification evaluation as conducted by the BAC Bravo TWG. And the finding and recommendation is for the contract of lease of aircraft for CAAP-FICG flight operations mission nationwide to be awarded to Asia Aerospace Corporation for having been determined as a qualified bidder. Do you have any further comments or questions from our members? If there's none, maybe we can have a motion, please. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes po.
I just want to address a question to the TWG regarding po doon sa election ban if this project will not be covered under the election ban, considering that we were going to award this project.
The onset, sir, the election ban that was issued by the COMELEC is applicable only to infrastructure projects, not to services, and goods and services, which is the BAC Bravo handled projects. But Attorney Day, do you have anything to say?
Same lang, sir, with your manifestation, sir. It's, Sir Gary po ba yun?
Yes, Attorney.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can refer to circular number 03-2021 issued by the GPPB po. It defined public works lang po yung bawal. That term refers to infrastructure.
Yes, thank you. That would be all.
Thank you, sir. So again, if there's no more questions, let's have a motion.
motion, Mr. Chair. I move to adopt the recommendation of the TWG for the proposal of Asian Aerospace Corporation being evaluated and considered as a single calculated and responsive bid for the project lease of aircraft for CAAP-FICG flight operation, and to award the contract in the amount of 127,050,000 pesos and 0 centavos. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Do you have a second?
Seconded, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. There being a motion duly seconded, the recommendation is adopted, the motion is carried, and the contract is awarded to Asian Aerospace Corporation. Of course, this is considering that the value exceeds the threshold for DG's approval. This will be presented for the board, tama ba?
Yes, sir. It will be presented to the board.
Okay, for the next board meeting. All right, thank you. Let's move on. Move forward, please.
Sir, the next agenda is the presentation of post-qualification report for the project Preventive Maintenance Service and Calibration of Laboratory Equipments and Machines amounting to 160,000. This is a BAC Bravo. This is an OFSAM project, sir. For the recontracting, this will be presented by Attorney Dane.
For the post-qualification report for the project Preventive Maintenance Service and Calibration of Laboratory Equipment Machines, the ABC is 160,000. The date and place of opening of bids, 27 December 2022, CAAP Conference Room. Name of the bidder is BioCare Health Resources, Inc. Based on the bid evaluation report, the amount is 160,000, same with the ABC. For the eligibility, technical and financial documents, the eligibility documents, PhilJeps, responsive. For the registration certificate from the SEC, responsive. Mayor's permit, responsive. Valid until December 31, 2021. It should be noted that this was opened last December 2021. But an updated mayor's permit was submitted with a validity period of until 21 January 2020. Tax clearance responsive. For the computation of the NFCC, 242,211,419.17 responsive. They also submitted the certificate of sole distributorship with the validity period of until, for the Elitech companies, January 7, 2023, and for the Bowl company, August 1, 2024. For the technical specifications with compliance statement, he submitted a due design submission form. Financial bid form, they offered a total bid of 160,000. Same with the ABC, responsive. Summary of bid proposal, responsive. It is in accordance with the prescribed bidding forms. For the price schedule, it is in accordance with the prescribed bidding forms, both responsive. For the statement of all of its ongoing government and private contracts, they submitted an updated list of ongoing projects as of March 2022, responsive. For their SLCC, responsive. Audited financial statement, they submitted their audited financial statement for fiscal year 2019 and 2020, which was stamped received by the BIR on 12 April 2021. So for the recommendation of the TWG. With reference to the above findings, the TWG found BioCare Health Resources Incorporated to be technically, legally, and financially capable to deliver the goods at the most advantageous price. In this regard, awarding of the contract for the project preventive maintenance service and calibration of laboratory equipment and machines in the amount of 160,000 to BioCare Health Resources Incorporated is hereby recommended.
Alright, thank you. Nandito ba end user for this?
Sir, wala pong sir.
Wala. Sige. In any case, so the recommendation is for the award of the contract, preventive maintenance service and calibration of laboratory equipment, machines to BioCare Health Resource Incorporated. Do we have any further comments? If there's none, let's have a motion, please. This is only for 160,000 pesos, tama?
Yes, sir.
160,000.
Yes,
Okay. Yan. Any motion, please?
Motion, Mr. Chair. Motion to adopt the recommendation of the TWG to award the project preventive maintenance service and calibration of laboratory equipment machine in the amount of 160,000 to BioCare Health Resources Incorporated, being found to be technically, legally, and financially capable to deliver the goods at the most advantageous price. Thank you.
Seconded, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. There being motion duly seconded, the recommendation for the award of the project to BioCare Health Resources hereby adopted and the motion is carried. Let's move forward, please.
Sir, the next agenda is the presentation of the post-qualification report for the purchase of laboratory supplies and blood chemistry, hematology, wet reagents for the use of OFSAM laboratory in the amount of 998,340 pesos. This is an OFSAM direct contracting projects. This will be presented again by Attorney Dane of the TWG.
For the post-qualification report, the purchase of various laboratory supplies and blood chemistry, hematology, and wet reagents for the use of some laboratory. The location of the project is at CAAP Central Office with the approved budget of 998,340. The date and place of opening of bid, 27 December 2022, CAAP Conference Room. The name of the bidder is BioCare Health Resources Incorporated. Based on the bid evaluation report, the bid offer was 998,340, same as the ABC. For the eligibility documents, they submitted a certificate of jobs registration issued on 13 September 2021, valid until 11 February 2023, responsive. For the SEC, responsive. Mayor's permit, responsive. Again, since this is the same company, they updated their mayor's submitted mayor's permit. For the tax clearance, responsive. Computation of the net financial contracting capacity, responsive, in the amount of 242,211,419.17. Valid certificate of sole distributorship, responsive. technical specifications with compliance statement. They submitted the design submission form, responsive. For the financial documents, financial bid form, they offered the total bid of 998,340, responsive. Summary of bid proposal, responsive. And the price schedule, responsive. Both are in accordance with the prescribed bidding forms. For the statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, responsive. Statement identifying the bidder's single largest completed contract, responsive. For the audited financial statement, also responsive. The recommendation of the TWG with reference to the above findings, the TWG found BioCare Health Resources Incorporated to be technically, legally, and financially capable to deliver the goods at the most advantageous price. In this regard, awarding of the contract for the project purchase of various laboratory supplies and blood chemistry, hematology, wet reagents for the use of OFSAM laboratory in the amount of 998,340 pesos to BioCare Health Resources Incorporated is hereby recommended.
Again, this recommendation for the award of the contract. Purchase of various laboratory supplies and blood chemistry, hematology, wet reagents for the use of OFSAM laboratory to BioCare Health Resources Incorporated. Do you have any comments from the members of the Senate? Have a motion, please. Members?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. That
Okay,
is.
go ahead, Sir Gary.
Yes, sir. I move to adopt the recommendation of the TWG to award the contract for the project purchase of various laboratory supplies and blood chemistry, hematology, wet reagent for the use of OFSAM laboratory in the amount of 998,340 pesos to BioCare Health Resources Incorporated. Thank you.
Seconded, Mrs. Chair.
Thank you, sirs. There being motion duly seconded, the recommendation for the award of the contract to BioCare Health Services is hereby adopted and the motion is carried. Alright, let's proceed please with the next item in the agenda. I think the next part should be mode of procurement. As previously
Yes, sir.
discussed, let's dispense with the lengthy presentations for these and let's just go straight to the recommendation based on the amount involved and the nature of the request. TWG.
Sir, for the first determination of mode of procurement, sir, this is for the purchase of high-speed scanner for amounting to 497,770 pesos, sir. This is an ODG MISD SBP project. This has been reviewed by the TWG, sir, and the recommended mode of procurement, sir, is SVP.
Magkano?
497,770 pesos.
Okay, and high-speed scanner being not off-the-shelf office supply. Sige. Do you have any objection for this? I think the recommendation is okay for SVP. Alright, hearing no objections, let's do this for SVP. Next, please.
Sir, next is the purchase request of 7 annual subscription of video conferencing application. This is for the Zoom application, sir, for 73,300 pesos. This is an ODG MISDS project, sir. This is for SVP, sir. This is not an off-the-shelf goods, sir. So the recommended mode of procurement is SVP.
Alright. Do you have any objections again, members? Hearing none. Recommendation for SVP.
Sir, the next project is the purchase of toners for various photocopying machine amounting to 754,740 pesos. This is an ADMS project. This is for the recontracting. Sir, please be noted that these toners are for the Kyocera machine, sir. Therefore, they only have one supplier for this one, sir, and it is recommended for the recontracting.
Alright, as long as they can provide the sole distributorship as needed. Do you have any objections? At hearing none, the recommendation is adopted for direct contracting. Next, please.
Next, sir, is the supply and installation of discharge temperature sensor, outdoor and ambient sensor replacement, and leak repair and system reprocess of air conditioning units at CATC, amounting to 192,000. Sir, this is a CATC project, sir. Same mode of procurement is SVP, sir, considering that these supplies are not off-the-shelf goods.
All right. Do you have any objections again? Okay, hearing none, the recommendation is adopted for SVP. Next, please.
Yes,
Last
sir.
one.
Last one, sir, is the CISCO Firepower URL filtering subscription for the operation of the DMZ in ATMC. This is an ANS project, sir. This is for SVP. Sir, considering that this is also not an off-the-shelf and this is a subscription, this is for subscription.
What is DMZ in ATMC? DMZ. What's DMZ? End user.
May I ask for end user from the ANS?
If I may, Mr. Chair, DMZ means demilitarized zone. It's the same as
Okay.
the DMZ that we know. Yes, sir.
Kailan ang subscription, sir? Ano ba to? Sorry. Ang sinasubscription natin dito is yung fire or URL filtering.
It's a firewall attorney.
Okay. Okay, firewall services for the operation. Okay, I understand. Sige. Do we have any objections on the proposed mode, which is SVP? Okay, hearing none. We'll also adopt this recommendation for SVP. Is there anything else, TWG?
Yes, sir. We have for other matters, sir. If we may, sir, although this is not included in the agenda, sir. We have the end user, sir, would like to present the terms of reference as well as the timeline for the emergency procurement for the provision of technical and non-technical personnel support services requirements for CAAP Central Office and area centers nationwide, sir. Previously, sir, the board already provided its approval for the emergency procurement of this project, sir. And now the end user will present the Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Please go ahead.
This will be presented by the end user, sir, from the HRMD. Yes, ma'am. Please proceed.